Good day, everyone. I am Samantha M. Lita, together with Mr. Rian Iambil. Today, we will discuss about the perennialism philosophy of education. But before our discussion, here are the objectives of this lesson. First is to define the perennialism philosophy of education, and the last one is demonstrate understanding of the lesson by giving a reflection. So, to start the discussion, let me read first a quote from Robert Hutchins, one of the educational leaders of perennialism. Robert Hutchins said, "The purpose of the university is nothing less than to procure a moral, intellectual, and spiritual revolution throughout the world." Okay, so to know more about the perennialism philosophy of education, let us first define what is perennialism. From the word itself, perennial, which means having an existence or validity that does not change or diminish, perennialism is a philosophical and literary theory that argues for the existence of universal truths that is everlasting. Here are the concepts of perennialism philosophy of education. In philosophy of education, perennialism focuses on everlasting ideas and universal truths. So to clarify, perennialism suggests that the focus of education should be the ideas that have lasted for centuries, believing the ideas are as relevant and meaningful today as when they were written. Perennialism in philosophy of education is also a teacher-centered educational philosophy. Why does it called a teacher-centered educational philosophy? It is called a teacher-centered educational philosophy because the teacher is not concerned at the student's interest, more focused on the curriculum and nature's need, and the teacher set everything based on the syllabus. Perennialism, sometimes referred to as culturally conservative, because the aim of perennialism in education is to develop power of thought, internalized truths that are universal and constant, and to ensure that students acquire understanding about the great ideas of Western civilization. Perennialism is also a school of thought in the philosophy of art, because perennialism proposes that some artworks have universal and everlasting value regardless of their age or style. To make you more understand it, here are the characteristics of perennialism. Perennialism have a subject-centered lesson with organized body of knowledge and focuses on developing the thinking skills of students. And its common instructional methods are lecture and question and answer. Because the goal of perennialism for students is to develop students' intellectual and moral qualities. And it emphasizes that students should not be taught information that may be soon outdated or found to be incorrect. Perennialist curriculum. The perennialist curriculum is a teaching method that focuses on the study of timeless topics. Perennialism curriculum is a theory of formal education that suggests all systematic knowledge can be divided into four types: the art, science, philosophy, and mathematics. So, perennialist thinkers generally believe this because they think nature's laws are universal, meaning if you learn one type of knowledge or skill from any source, it would be necessary to know the other three kinds.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Rian Yambil, and I'm going to continue our discussions regarding the perennialism as philosophy of education. The role of a teacher in perennialism. It is said that a perennialist teacher's job is to teach their students how to think critically, analyze information, and solve problems. The teachers are responsible for teaching their students about a particular subject or topic. And also, the role of a teacher differs depending on the setting and age group they are teaching. And lastly, the teacher is the one who teaches and instructs. As a teacher-centered classroom, it is said that the teachers are the one who sets rules and examples for students, and they are also responsible for providing the students more knowledge and a safe learning environment for everyone. How is perennialism applied in a classroom? A perennialist classroom aims to be closely organized and well-disciplined environment, which develops in students a lifelong quest for the truth. Perennialists believe that education should epitomize a prepared effort to make these ideas available to students and to guide their thought processes towards the understanding and appreciation of great work. Example, the works of literature written by history's finest thinkers that transcend time and never become outdated. Perennialism as philosophy of education. This philosophy of education is based on the belief that it's not the teacher's job to focus on the group but on the individual. The focus of perennialism as philosophy of education is for personal development of the student or learners through instilling them the principles that have been passed from generation to generation. These principles were formulated by the great thinkers and philosophers of the past like Aristotle, Socrates, and Plato, and are likely to make one develop a good personality if learned and applied in life. The philosophy argues that children should be educated to provide them with the knowledge and skills they need to succeed across time periods. If the learners embodies the principles, they were going to use it, and this will be useful in a later life, especially when these learners begin to appreciate the need to be educated of the facts and knowledge regarding the physical world with the end of getting employed. And lastly, educational perennialism is a philosophy that stands for the idea of learning without end. It promotes a lifelong learning and education system that is constantly evolving. They believe that schooling may come to an end, but a person will never stop learning throughout their lifetime. The educational leaders under perennialisms are Robert Maynard Hutchins, Mortimer J. Adler, and Jacques Maritain.